What if I told you? The most dangerous thing in your life isn't hiding in the dark. It's sitting in your pocket. You touch it before you even open your eyes. You trust it more than your own memory. And without realizing it, you've already given it control, not over your hands, but over your mind. Think about your morning. You wake up. You weren't planning to check your phone. You just wanted to see the time. But somehow, 20 minutes disappear. You scroll through Instagram, one YouTube short becomes 20, one notification leads to another. And before you've even left your bed, your brain is already exhausted. The strange part? It doesn't even feel like a choice anymore. It feels automatic. Now here's the scary question. When was the last time you sat alone, without music, without videos, without checking your phone, even for 10 minutes? Most people can't. Not because they're weak, but because their brain has quietly been rewired to crave constant stimulation. And that didn't happen by accident. It happened by design. Every swipe, every like, every notification, every endless scroll was carefully engineered by some of the smartest people on the planet. Not to make your life better, but to keep you on the screen for just one more minute, because every extra minute makes someone else richer, while your attention becomes poorer. And here's the worst part. The longer you stay, the less you even realize you're trapped. This isn't a conspiracy. This isn't an opinion. It's neuroscience. Your brain runs on a powerful chemical called dopamine. Dopamine is what makes you chase rewards. Thousands of years ago, it helped humans survive. Today, the same system is being used against you. Every notification, every funny video, every new message, every recommended for you post is feeding that same reward system again and again and again, until your brain starts expecting pleasure every few seconds. So the question isn't, are you using your phone? The real question is your phone using you? Because once you understand what's happening inside your brain, you'll never look at your screen the same way again. Have you ever noticed that your phone is usually the first thing you reach for when you're bored? Not because you actually need it, but because your brain has learned that your phone is the fastest way to escape silence. Years ago, boredom wasn't considered a problem. People used to sit by the window and think. They would walk without headphones. They would wait in long lines without staring at a screen. Their minds had time to wander. And surprisingly, that's when some of the greatest ideas in history were born. But today, the moment we feel even a second of boredom, our hand automatically reaches into our pocket, not because we decided to, because we've trained ourselves to do it. Imagine your brain as a muscle. Every time you focus on one thing for a long period of time, that muscle becomes stronger. But every time your attention jumps from one notification to another video, to another message, to another app, your focus becomes weaker, slowly, almost invisibly. Your attention span begins to shrink. This is why reading a book for 20 minutes feels difficult. This is why watching a long documentary feels boring. This is why studying for an exam suddenly feels impossible. It's not because you're lazy, it's because your brain has become addicted to constant novelty. Your phone has taught your mind to expect something new. Every few seconds, a new notification, a new reel, a new like, a new message, a new piece of entertainment. And once your brain gets used to that pattern, normal life starts feeling slow. That's why many people say they can't concentrate anymore. They blame themselves. But they never realize what has actually changed. The world didn't become more distracting. The technology became better at stealing attention. Social media companies don't compete for your money. They compete for your time, because your attention is one of the most valuable things in the world. Every second you spend looking at a screen generates profit for someone else. Think about that. Some of the smartest engineers, psychologists, and behavioral scientists work together to answer one simple question. How can we make people stay just a little longer? That's why videos autoplay. That's why infinite scrolling exists. That's why notifications are bright red. That's why your feed always has something new waiting for you. None of this happened by accident. Every detail was designed to keep you engaged. Not because they hate you, but because their business depends on your attention. Meanwhile, you lose something far more valuable. Your ability to focus, your creativity, your patience, even your sleep. Have you ever promised yourself, I'm only going to watch one video? And then suddenly, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. You don't even remember what you watched, but somehow, hours disappeared. That's because your brain wasn't making conscious decisions anymore. It was running on habit. And habits are incredibly powerful. After repeating the same action hundreds of times, your brain stops asking whether it's a good idea. It simply repeats the behavior automatically. That's why you unlock your phone, without any reason. Sometimes, you close one app and immediately open another. Not because you need information, but because your brain is searching for another small hit of dopamine. This cycle repeats every single day. Until eventually, silence feels uncomfortable, waiting feels impossible, and doing nothing feels like punishment. But here's the truth. Your phone didn't steal your attention overnight. It happened one notification at a time, one swipe at a time, one short video at a time, one habit at a time. And that's exactly why most people never notice it, because the biggest changes in life rarely happen all at once. They happen quietly, little by little, day after day, until one morning, you wake up and realize you can no longer control your attention. Your attention is controlling you. Here's something most people never think about. Your phone isn't stealing your time. It's stealing your ability to become the person you could have been. Every minute you spend mindlessly scrolling seems harmless. It's only a minute, right? But success, failure, confidence, knowledge, they're all built the same way, 1 minute at a time. Imagine two people. Both are the same age. Both have the same 24 hours every day. The only difference, one spends 3 hours scrolling through endless content. The other spends those same 3 hours learning a skill, reading, building a business, or improving their health. Now imagine that difference. Not for 1 day, but for 1 year. 3 hours a day becomes more than 1,000 hours. That's enough time to master a new skill, start a business, learn a new language, or completely change your future. The difference between an ordinary life and an extraordinary one is often hidden inside the small choices nobody notices. And scrolling feels like the smallest choice of all. That's why it's so dangerous, because it never feels like you're losing anything until one day you realize you've lost years. When you finish watching an inspiring movie, you feel motivated. When you listen to a powerful speech, you feel like changing your life. But what happens after 30 minutes of random scrolling? Do you feel inspired, or do you simply feel empty? Your brain wasn't created to consume endless information. It was created to solve problems, build relationships, create ideas, and experience the real world. Instead, we're feeding it thousands of meaningless pieces of content every single day. Our brains are full, but our minds feel empty. This constant overload creates another problem: decision fatigue. Every day, your brain makes thousands of tiny decisions. Should I click this? Should I watch another video? Should I reply now? Should I check Instagram? Should I open YouTube? Should I look at my notifications? Each decision consumes a little mental energy. By the time you finally sit down to study, work, or build something meaningful, your brain is already tired. Not because you've worked hard, but because you've been distracted all day. And that's the trap. Distraction feels easy, but it silently drains your energy. Focus feels difficult, but it gives your energy back. The people who achieve extraordinary things aren't always the smartest. Many of them simply protect their attention better than everyone else, because they understand one truth: where your attention goes, your life follows. If your attention is controlled by notifications, your future will also be controlled by distractions. If your attention is controlled by your goals, your future begins to change. Every great invention, every book, every company, every masterpiece started with uninterrupted focus, not endless scrolling, not constant notifications, just one person giving their full attention to one important thing. And maybe that's the rarest skill in today's world. Not intelligence, not talent, attention, because attention is becoming a superpower. So, does that mean your phone is the enemy? No. Your phone isn't evil. It's one of the greatest tools ever created. The problem begins when a tool quietly becomes your master. Your phone can teach you almost anything. It can help you build a business, learn a new language, read books, connect with people across the world, or even change your entire life. But it can also steal years from you. Without making a sound, the choice is made every single time you unlock your screen. Ask yourself one simple question: am I using my phone, or is my phone using me? That one question can change everything, because awareness is where freedom begins. You don't need to throw your phone away. You don't need to disappear from social media. You just need to take your attention back. Start small. Turn off the notifications you don't need. Don't touch your phone during the first 30 minutes after waking up. Leave your phone in another room when you're working. Read a few pages of a book before opening social media. Go for a walk without headphones. Sit in silence for a few minutes every day. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. Your brain will ask for stimulation. It will tell you to check your phone, just once. But every time you resist, you're training your mind instead of obeying it. Slowly, you begin to think more clearly. You sleep better. You notice the world around you again. Your conversations become deeper. Your focus returns. Your creativity comes back. And for the first time in a long time, your mind feels quiet, because real happiness doesn't come from endless notifications. It comes from progress, from meaningful work, from real conversations, from moments that don't need to be posted online. One day, you'll look back at your life, and you won't remember the thousands of videos you scrolled past. You won't remember the notifications you rushed to open. You won't remember the trends you chased, but you will remember the books you read, the skills you learned, the people you loved, the dreams you had the courage to pursue. Your attention is the most valuable thing you own, because whatever has your attention eventually has your life. So protect it, guard it, use it wisely, because the future you dream about is built by what you choose to pay attention to today. And maybe the moment you put your phone down after watching this video won't just be the end of a video. It might be the beginning of taking your life back.